Hey, this is Mike. It's Friday, October 2nd, and I woke up this morning around 1:30 a.m. and boy, did I get some big news that I find here. The President of the United States has tested positive for COVID-19 along with the First Lady. So this is the October surprise of all October surprises. I checked the futures market. Everything is down as of 1:30 a.m. to 2 a.m. It's down. S&P 500 is down 1.5%. Nasdaq down 1.5%. Dow down one. Everything's down. Everything's chaotic right now. So since this is an investment channel, I'm going to try my best to look at this through an investment perspective. So what's going to happen? Well, the markets are just going to go down. Market's going to be chaotic. Things are going to be bad. If you have money in cash right now, I would not deploy them in any of your favorite stocks or trading strategies. You want to watch for anything that goes up. My suspicion is the two things that may go up is gold, so the gold ETF GLD. Also, you may want to look at zero bonds, which you can get through the ETF ZROZ. These are the two big chaos plays. So if you don't know what zero coupons are treasury bills that do not pay any interest. You buy it at a certain price and then you get $1,000 30 years from now. So for instance, let's say the treasury, the zero coupon treasury is $500. You buy it for $500 to $1,000. So that would give you like not a very good rate of return, a rate of return of 2%, but it's probably a better rate of return of anything else when the markets are going down, when there's huge uncertainty, there is that certainty that you'll get paid. So zero coupons will probably go up. They've been, moving downward or doing nothing because you get a better return in equity markets. But ZROZ, that's an ETF to take a look at. And then gold is the ultimate chaos play. I mean, literally for thousands of years, in times of war, in times of uncertainty, people put their money into gold because that's the one thing that will hold its value. I mean, even though Trump tested positive for COVID, the best case scenario is he's asymptomatic and he quarantines for 2 weeks and then he comes out and does everything that he normally does, tweets and everything again. However, let's look at some mitigating factors here. One is the President of the United States is 72 or 73 years old. He is in the demographic that has the highest mortality rate for COVID-19, which is about 6%. 6% of people in his age range who get COVID-19 die. They don't recover. You also have to consider he is obese. Obesity is one of the biggest risk factors. I think it's second to, existing respiratory disease. So the likelihood, there's probably a likelihood that he's not going to be asymptomatic. The likelihood is he's going to get this, he's going to have symptoms, he's going to get sick, and he's going to have to go to the hospital. And then most likely, statistically, he should be able to survive this since the mortality rate is 5 to 6%. That means there's a 94, 95% chance that he survives. But if he's in the hospital, he may end up having to be put on a respirator. It could be, his recovery time from the hospital might be a lot longer than someone, let's say Boris Johnson, who's in his 50s, who was put on a respirator in the ICU. He was pretty close to death. He recovered and then went on living his normal life. Trump, 73, he may end up in the hospital, maybe put on a respirator, and then literally they may keep him in the hospital for several weeks. The thing is, we don't know. And one of the things that can compound this situation is that I think, Trump is not usually very forthcoming with information, or the information, it's all filtered through him. So we may not know exactly what's going on. Let's say if he gets sick and goes into the hospital, he may just go into the hospital for testing. He may go into the hospital because the doctor recommends, hey, why don't you just spend a couple of nights in the hospital so we can have you under observation. He may be in the ICU. We won't know because I feel like we're not going to get the information that we need. They may also take it to a point where they may have medical staff moved into the White House. I'm pretty sure, I'm not certain, but I'm pretty sure that there is like a medical facility inside the White House. So if like the president got sick, he wouldn't have to travel to Walter Reed. That could cause a lot of chaos. So like they may end up just bringing the facilities to the White House. That's in a way that might be good for him for treatment, but that might be bad for us for information. And the one thing that the markets don't like is uncertainty. So, at this point, it's going to be kind of tough to figure out. And in the worst case scenario, if Trump were to pass away before the election, then you have, I assume, Mike Pence. I don't know what the procedure is, but my guess is that the vice president would technically become president. But as far as the presidential ticket is concerned and the election is concerned, I assume then Mike Pence gets the nomination. But the ballots are all printed, so. And I know that's getting a little far ahead of itself, but of course, this is 2020 where anything can happen. And then on the other side of the party, did Biden contract this? Because it's possible. I mean, Trump and Biden never got within 6 feet of each other during that debate, but who knows how far COVID can travel? Has Biden been around any people? I have a feeling Biden may not get it because he's wearing masks and he's very part of that, have protection. But if someone like Biden, who's older, 5 years older than Trump, gets it, he would definitely be in bad shape. Even though Biden seems to be a healthy 78-year-old, just this COVID has killed people who have been perfectly healthy and young. And so this is also going to be crazy. And the other thing you have to consider that even if Trump, let's say, is asymptomatic, which means he has no symptoms and he recovers, there's evidence that COVID-19 causes respiratory damage. So, let's say you have had COVID-19 and never got sick, you're asymptomatic. We don't know a lot of information about what COVID does long-term to the body. So, if Trump recovers, he may still have respiratory damage that can cause some issues. So, this is going to be a very unique October. It throws everything into chaos. I was going to do a special report this weekend on stocks to buy during the Santa Claus rally, but now because of this news, I don't even know if we're going to have a Santa Claus rally because depending on what happens to the president, everything is kind of off the table. And I do think our American economy and our American markets are extremely resilient, and we will get past this. This is not a crisis that will last longer than 3 or 4 months. But it is right now, this is officially something we should look at as a crisis. And so if you are in the markets, I think you very much need to plan accordingly. The things I would suggest, do not bottom feed as far as like trying to catch stocks that are dropping, which is known as catching a falling knife. You may see stocks at great discounts that you like. However, if they are below the 50-day moving average, I would recommend do not touch those stocks because you don't know how far it's going to go. And psychologically, you may not be able to handle buying something and then watching it drop 10%. So there's stuff like I would like to buy. I've been doing cash secure puts on GameStop, a company I believe in. GameStop is literally right now at 985. It fell pretty big yesterday because there was a negative article on Forbes, but that doesn't deter me. And the 50-day moving average on GameStop is pretty, I think it's like at 5, GME 50-day MA. I think it's about 5 and change. Yeah, 585 is the 50-day moving average on GameStop. It's currently seen at 977. It probably will go down because of this Trump COVID situation. But there's a stock that's about, I guess, 80, 90% above its 50-day moving average. So I'm still comfortable doing cash secure puts as long as it's above the 50-day moving average. And stocks are above the 50-day moving average. I think they're okay to hold. But right now, honestly, I would not buy anything. I would wait for more information and also realize that all the information that comes out of the White House may not be 100% on the board, or they may be holding stuff back. So just be very, very careful with the news that comes out of the White House and just have a lot of caution going forward, okay? So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to like, subscribe. I put out content every day before market opens, and I do special reports on the weekend. I don't know what I'm going to do this weekend yet. I'm going to figure something out that will, give you value, be of value to you given in light of today's circumstances. So, okay, thank you very much. Bye.